second speaker here, and George Chapjian is here, and George is new to the city. He is our new Parks and Rec director. He brings with him a lot of experience, and he's coming into a great Parks and Rec department. I know many of you used it. I used it as a kid. I still use it, and now I use it with my kids. So I love it. I want to keep it great. It's part of my job to keep it great, and this man is going to help me keep it great. So he's going to talk a little bit about his experience, his mission, and listen, he's only been on the job a couple weeks, so we're going to be fair. We're not going to get him into too much of the thick of things. But you know, if you feel free to throw it at him, and if you don't have some information that I have, I'll throw it in there too. So welcome, George. Give me a hand. Welcome to Long Beach.
Thank you, Councilman. I've only been here 3 weeks. I think you're right, and it feels like 3 months. It's kind of like dog years here. And I will go quickly because I know you all have to be out of here soon. Just briefly, my background: I've got 27 years experience in public service. 23 of those are local government. I have degrees from USC, bachelor's degree, and 2 master's degrees from USC. So I'm a Trojan through and throughout. So I know there is a large contingency of Trojans here in Long Beach. We have a reputation of moving slow. My father-in-law used to joke that public employees move at 2 speeds. And I thought he was going to say slow, but he says slow and stop. And it's really not stop. I have to tell you, I've been here 3 weeks. And I'm still learning. And what I've been doing for the 3 weeks here is just meeting with people, going out, looking at the parks, meeting with as many people as possible, just to learn, to see what this city's about, to see what this department is about. And so far in the 3 weeks, I've met a lot of good people. And I have to tell you, the department is in really good hands with the bureau managers here. The Recreation Bureau Manager, the Marine Bureau Manager, and the Maintenance Bureau Manager. There is a vacancy in the business operations end of it, in the Bureau Manager position, and we're going to fill that as soon as possible. But what I'm seeing so far is we're in really good hands. So rest assured, these folks have been doing more with less. You know, the Recreation Parks Services normally does more with less anyway throughout the years. I've always found that we were always at the first to be cut in terms of budget, and we've always managed to do more with less. So we're accustomed to that, and I think you'll see the folks here are accustomed to it. They'll provide you with exceptional service, continued exceptional service, even though we are cutting a contractor who apparently is doing a very good job. Yes, sir.
What's the biggest expense in the park maintenance for the city?
Water. Water is a big issue at this point. We've got about 160 parks, and the budget apparently hadn't increased in the last 4 or 5 years. So it's trying to make do with what the budget is for water. You know, and when you have mature trees, they require more water. So you can take some of the lawn out, but you kill some of the trees. So it's a matter of balancing. How do you reduce your water and not kill the trees and still keep your parks green? So we're going to be looking at that. But that's a huge hit on our budget.
Is there a centralized electronic management system that manages all the water and stuff?
I don't think so, and I think the system is really old. I think a lot of the irrigation systems are old too, so the infrastructure is really old. So that's going to be a challenge when things start breaking down.
Is that water truck going down Studebaker at 5 miles an hour?
Is that recycled water?
I'm sorry?
Is that recycled water?
Yeah, the reclaimed water.
I don't know. I'm still looking at
Some of it is. Some of it is.
Yeah.
Some of it is and some of it isn't.
Yeah.
Stearns Park is.
Is it?
Yeah, and I know, like in Glendale, the medians were all reclaimed water, and some of the parks were, but they don't get the lines to all the parks.
And what people don't realize too, sometimes reclaimed water is sometimes double what non-reclaimed water is, because it has to go through a process.
Yeah.
So in good times, when you have a lot of water, it actually is an inverse relationship. The reclaim's more expensive.
You know, one of the investments we made back there was we converted a couple soccer fields to artificial turf. You know, you pay a little bit more up front, but just 2 fields saved us over 2 million gallons of water a year.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's something we should look at. That's actually, I've had an interest in that, because our soccer fields, that's one of the first things I said to him was, hey, we got to take care of what we have. And I'm talking about the soccer fields, because I see that on Saturday mornings with the kids. And wow, so I mean, if we could look at something like that's why we bring someone from the outside, different eyes, different experiences.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You get almost 24-hour use of it. Not that they would, but after a torrential rain, 20 minutes later, they can play on it. So you get more use out of it, less money and maintenance.